durog na durog, persecution, trauma, at saka walang-wala ay hindi po mararanasan. Paulit-ulit ang pagbabanta ni Presidente Duterte sa media were ignored by the Duterte administration. Mga iginagalang na mga miyembro ng Kamara de Representantes, Your Honors, good morning. Noong mga nakaraang linggo, nabalitaan ko po ang pagnanais na makapagsalita ako na maging resource person sa hearing ng Quad Committee. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank each one of you for allowing me to speak. Maraming salamat po. Napaisip ako nang marinig ko ang balita. Sabi ko sa sarili, ito na siguro ang tamang pagkakataon na malaya akong kukuha ng lakas ng loob at magsasalita ng katotohanan kahit ako pa ay natatakot at may pangamba sa aking buhay. Una po sa lahat, I declare that I was not and never will be a drug protector. I don't know personally nor did I benefit in any way from any illegal drug personality in Iloilo or anywhere else. After 7 years of exile, dahil sa napolitika at walang basihang mga akusasyon, kaliwat ka ng mga paratang at higit sa lahat mga banta sa aking buhay at sa buhay ng aking pamilya, narito po ako ngayon at humaharap po sa inyo. Naging kabataang barangay chairman, number 1 city councilor, vice mayor, at mayor in 2010, 13, and 16. And was fortunate to have been chosen as the top 5 world mayor in 2014. That also included the former president as a nominee. In the campaign against illegal drugs, as mayor and as mandated by law, I am aware of my authority to set local policies and priorities related to crime and drugs. I'm also aware that under the law, the PNP and PDEA handle crime investigation and response, and the combating of drug trafficking and enforcement of drug laws, while the mayor relies on the police and PDEA to implement them. And so when I became mayor, and having made aware that there were existing drug groups in the city, I immediately initiated anti-illegal drug activities, campaign and policies, among others, multiple programs, one of which is to activate the Barangay Anti-Drug Abuse Councils. In 2014 po, according to PDEA, Iloilo City was the first in the country to have 100% of its BADAC activated. In the 6 years that I have been mayor of Iloilo City consistently received national recognitions from PDEA and the PNP in the years 2014, 2015, 2016, and even in 2017 for the comprehensive programs including rehab, logistical support to the PNP and PDEA in their drive against illegal drugs. Since the existence of these drug syndicates in our city was deeply rooted, I relied on the expertise of the local PNP and regional PDEA to deal with these groups while I focused on the socio-economic programs that would address the root causes of poverty that expose the vulnerable population to cope against the evils of illegal drugs. But all of these efforts were ignored by the Duterte administration. Kung matatandaan po ninyo, nagsimula ang lahat ng ito nung bigla na lamang na isama ang mga pangalan sa PRRD narco list ng Administrasyong Duterte. Isang listahan naglalaman ng mga pangalan ng mga kilalang public official na di umano ay sangkot sa illegal na droga. mga paratang na walang basihan, at kahit kailan ay hindi naman napatunayan. As a matter of fact, until today, there are no drug-related cases that have been filed, especially in the legal courts, against me and my person. Pero kung inyong titingnang maigi, isinama ang pangalan ng kalaban sa politika sa isang validated list ng mga drug personalities sa kasunod na PRRD list. Sa kabila ng mga questionableng impormasyon, walang validation o confirmation man lang na ginawa kahit na anumang ahensya ng gobyerno sa Malacanang initiated list. Itong PRRD list, di umano, ay naging hit list. Sa isang public forum ng PIDEA noong 2018, mismo ang Regional Adjudication Committee o tinatawag na RAC ay nagsabi na wala yung pangalan ko sa kanilang listahan. While in the Iloilo City Anti-Drug Abuse Council meeting, then PIDEA 6 Regional Director Hil Pabilona and Iloilo City Police Director Colonel Remus Canieso officially ang nagpatotoo na wala rin ang pangalan ko sa drug list. Ngunit, nanatili ang listahan sa kanilang mga record. Hanggang ngayon, lahat ng mga paratang at akusasyong ibinabato sa akin ay patuloy na sumisira sa aking reputasyon at pati na rin ang reputasyon ng minamahal kong Iloilo. Dahil sa seryosong banta sa aking buhay, napilitan po ako na hindi bumalik from an international speaking engagement in Japan at lisanin ng aking pamilya ang bayang buong pagsisikap naming itinaguyod ng may dangal. PRRD even assigned Lieutenant Colonel Espenido to Iloilo and announced with the threat, mabubuhi pa kaya siya? Ibig sabihin in Tagalog, mabubuhay pa kaya siya? Referring to me. Pinalad po ako na meron akong speaking engagement sa isang international conference sa Japan, kaya nakaalis ako ng bansa. Paulit-ulit ang pagbabanta ni Presidente Duterte sa media, harap-harapang sinasabi, papatay daw ako.
So when government killed him, we started to dig and we found the bones of the policeman still in their uniform. And so we had to take him out. I said, go and take him out. The mayor of Iloilo City, I identified him. This is broadcast nationwide. I said, you're next. You're next. Sana ang mayor ninyo dito? Sana yung pinalitan mo, mayor. Saan ba si mayor? Sinabi ko sa kanila, balik ka dito. Patayin talaga kita.
Julius Ronald Pacificador, Amtek Antique, Jed
At alam po nating lahat, hindi lamang po ito basta-basta pagbabanta. Kayang-kaya niya pong totohanin ito. Labag man sa kalooban, kinailangan po naming lumisan at wag na munang bumalik sa Pilipinas. On August 28, 2017, I received an unexpected call from former PNP Regional Director Bernardo Diaz. He invited me to meet with PNP Chief Ronald De La Rosa, now Senator, at Camp Crame, Quezon City, at noon the following day. The next morning, on August 29, I arrived at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport at 10 a.m., ready to proceed. But then the call started. First, they moved the meeting to 3 p.m., and then by 5 p.m., it was delayed again this time to 6 p.m. At around 5 p.m., a PNP colonel called me and, in a voice that sent shivers down my spine, literal po yun, warned me not to go to Camp Crame because my life was in danger. The fear that had been simmering now erupted. Soon after, at 6:32 p.m., my wife, Marivic, received a chilling text from a PNP colonel's wife. Do not proceed. There are 20 men surrounding your house, and if you go to Camp Crame, they will kill you. The terror was paralyzing. I couldn't believe it. My life and my family's life was hanging by a thread. The next day, on August 30, I took the first flight out to Japan, not knowing if I would ever return. Upon arrival, I received a message from General Diaz to call a number. Using a public payphone, I made the call and spoke to General Bato, who expressed his sympathy. He was talking to me in Bisaya. He told me he knew I was innocent, that I wasn't involved in illegal drugs, and he promised to help me. His words brought a brief moment of hope. I told him I would finish my work abroad and return to meet him, but he urged me to be careful, repeating his pledge to help. Just after that call, my Philippine cell phone rang. This time, it was another general. His voice was grim. Mayor, do not return. Your life is in danger. The accusations against you are all fabricated. But if you go to Crame, you'll be forced to point fingers to an opposition senator and a former presidential candidate as drug lords. The weight of the conspiracy against me was unbearable. This general couldn't live with the guilt of seeing me killed, he said, and warned me to destroy my Philippine SIM card and phone immediately, and told me because my phone is going to be wiretapped. My hands trembled as I realized how close death had come. I knew then that I was no longer just a target. I was in a battle for my life. Dumiretso po kami sa US at nag-apply ng political asylum. Mapalad po kami na pinagkalooban kami ng US ng political asylum. It took 15 months for them to investigate and see the validity of us not being involved in illegal drugs, and all these accusations are all false. Ito ay isang patunay na walang nakitang kadahilanan na ibinigyan kami ng political asylum in March 2019. Masakit at malungkot, ngunit napilitan akong lumisan mula sa aking sinumpaan tungkulin sa aking pamilya at sa kababayan kong Ilonggo, na sinumpaan kong pagsilbihan, hindi dahil sa nagkasala ako, kundi dahil nanganganib na po ang aming buhay. I come before you today not merely to recount my sufferings, but to highlight a critical flaw in our system, one that allows law enforcement agencies to be weaponized for political purposes. That illegal drug trade stems from the ills of our society, from poverty to corruption of government institutions, including our law enforcement agencies. By using state institutions to carry out personal vendettas or silence perceived enemies, undermine the foundation of justice and democracy in our country. Sideline. No individual should be allowed to wield such unchecked authority regardless of their position or power. Ang karanasan at ng iba pang mga katulad kong biktima, lalong-lalo na ang mga mayors na pinagbintangan, ay ang nagmulat sa amin sa mga pagkukulang at kakulangan ng ating law enforcement agencies. Kailangan mapatibay pa ang mga institusyon ito upang hindi basta-basta magamit o maimpluwensya ng politika. Masigurong makakapagsilbi ng may integridad, walang kinikilingan at may respeto sa batas. Ang panawagan po namin sa inyo, manguna po ang hustisya at magkaroon ng reforma sa ating sistema, partikular sa pamamalakad ng ating law enforcement agencies. Accusations must be duly validated and authenticated first before any public announcement to avoid shaming and destroying the honor, reputation, and good image of hardworking and innocent persons. Higit sa lahat, panagutin ang mga umaabuso sa kapangyarihan. Sana ang nadanasan naming paghihirap na durog, persecution, trauma, at saka walang-wala ay hindi po mararanasan ng iba. At mananaig ang katotohanan at hindi ang pamumulitika o personal na interes ng ilan. Pasensya na po. Maraming salamat po sa Quad Committee dahil 7 taon po. Nahihirap talaga po. Maraming salamat dahil nabigyan niyo po kami, ako, at ang iba pang mga biktima ng pagkakataon na linisin ang aming mga pangalan at na mga minamahal ko, Ilonggo at yung Iloilo na tinawag po Shabolized. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Dakbanwas ang Iloilo, bugal ko, my city, my pride. I am Iloilo, proud to be Filipino po. Salamat po.